Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm so relieved this case is finally over. The amount of clout chasing that came with it has been unbelievable. Some of the most ghetto personalities flew to New York just for this case, chasing clicks and views. And even then, they could not pull the numbers. A lot of them could not pull the numbers, so they resorted to buying views, which is a clear violation of YouTube's terms of service. So imagine being so insecure about your low view count that you spend money just to make your channel look like it's buzzing, all to avoid the embarrassment of showing up to cover the trial and having nothing to show for it. Would I be wrong for calling out the ones faking and buying their views? These aren't small YouTubers either. We're talking channels with 89,000 to 360,000 subscribers. Well, there's one smaller one, has around 30,000, and his subscribers are fake bots. Yeah, fake bots. These frauds don't realize there are programs that detect this kind of activity across all social media platforms. Oh, you didn't know? I can tell you one, but honestly, you don't even need those programs because the way they do it is so sloppy, they expose themselves. For example, I saw a channel with 89,000 subscribers. They had 20 people watching their live during the Diddy trial. Now, they were not at the courtroom. They did not, go there. But they would, go live and report about it. And the second they ended that stream, suddenly it had 25,000 views. Even 100,000 views, some of theirs. That's not how it works. Even if the live lasted 9 hours, there's no way it jumps from 60 live viewers to 200,000 views in just 3 hours after ending it. And I noticed that just yesterday. There's no way you have 60, 90, even 100, even if 100 people was watching your live, you would not get 25,000 views as soon as you ended it. Not with 90 people, not even with 300 people watching the entire time. And you know what else? The numbers don't match the engagement. You'll see a video with 200,000 views, right? And 0 comments. Okay, when I say 0, I mean 0. And that makes no sense. When views are that high, 200,000 views, it should mean the video reached a wider audience. And with that comes more comments, okay? And the reason why they don't buy comments to match the fake video views, it's because the comments would be way off the topic and it would say the same thing over and over. Imagine seeing a comment section with like the same comments over and over and over. Different accounts, bots, but they all saying the same thing. See, I'm sharing too much. Yeah, I'm sharing way too much. I've even seen another YouTuber who I have no issue with doing this long before the Diddy trial started. I stopped by their lives before. So their upload videos would barely get 10 to 25 views, okay? And their live streams would end with maybe 60 views. Yet suddenly it jumps to 100,000 in less than an hour. How is that possible? I mean, I know how, but And guess what? Still with 0 comments. And the kicker, this guy barely even reports on anything. He just rambles. So anyway, The ones buying views during this Diddy trial are doing it because they are in competition. They feel threatened by YouTubers who are genuinely pulling the numbers, okay? They're insecure about their own views and they think that by faking high view counts, people will assume their channel has momentum. It's all about perception. They are hoping viewers will be drawn to the popularity, right? Wink, wink. And start tuning in, thinking they must be saying something worth watching. But it's all smoke and mirrors, all right? People are literally wasting real money to give their channels fake credibility. They are breaking YouTube's rules just to look important. Honestly, YouTube needs to do another purge or even start charging a small fee because then we would see a lot less of this nonsense. But anyway, I don't want to dwell on this too long, so let's move on to the next drama. First thing first, I was not keeping up with the drama. I didn't watch any of those people's videos because I was too busy reporting my own content and staying focused on this exhausting Diddy case. And I didn't even have time to watch the YouTubers I normally keep up with, like Candace Owens, Benny Johnson, Matt Walsh, Jay Marvelous. Oh my gosh, I have not had time to watch anybody. I have not watched anyone really. I've been so busy and plus trying to keep up with this Diddy case. So, and I don't like being lied to. I've said it so many times. I don't like being lied to, so I'm very selective about who I give my time and attention to. Lies aren't entertaining to me. Like, I don't find lies entertaining. I've said this plenty of times. That's actually why I stopped liking Jaguar. So, there was even an independent blog I used to enjoy reading because I liked their style and witty writing. They were so witty. But I stopped reading their blog because I noticed they would twist parts of certain stories. And when you realize no other outlet is reporting the same details, it becomes obvious that part of it was completely made up. To me, it's a waste of time when you can't tell if what you're reading is real or not. I mean, I could always tell when it was fake, but others couldn't, and they would fall for it. Eating it up, commenting and reacting exactly how the blogger wanted them to. And to me, that's just frustrating. I don't want to read a made up story and then have to search other media sources just to find out what really happened. Who has time for that? I value my time, I really do. And I don't like wasting it on lies. That's just who I am. And honestly, it's one of the things I love about myself. I do not entertain lies, liars. That's just me. So, no, I wasn't keeping up with the drama. The first time I even heard that these clout chasers and fame seekers were stirring things up was when I heard something about someone getting banned from the courthouse. That's what made me curious, just for a moment. I looked into it for like 30 minutes. Then I moved on and went right back to my usual corner of YouTube. I learned at a young age that the best way to deal with cloud chasers or attention seekers is to starve them of the attention they are so desperate for. Like TV shows, you don't watch, they get canceled. They need viewerships to continue. So fast forward to yesterday, after the Diddy verdict, the ghetto truly let loose. There was this one YouTube guy who started calling out a female YouTuber over what he said were lies she told about Diddy. Now, I'm all for holding people accountable, but there's a way to do it. This maniac was literally roaming around outside the courthouse looking for her, just so he could scream at her. I only tuned in to the chaos yesterday because my mood was a little off after the verdict. I was not even in the mindset to create a video about it. So I just felt numb. So I figured, whatever, let me see what's going on while I'm laying here lounging, feeling blah. So I watched just enough to get the gist of the drama and then tuned out. But this maniac did not just call the women out, he went straight for her looks, talking about her hair. And I really have to ask, what is this obsession that some black men have with black women's hair? Seriously, they are the only group of men I've ever seen who are this fixated on what black women do with their hair. I don't get it. No straight men acts like that. That is not a straight man trait. And for the record, there was nothing wrong with her hair. It was nicely done. Now, the bodyguard thing was ridiculous. But then again, I can see why, because you have lames like this guy that are unhinged. So yeah, it's a good way to keep those, what did she call him? A broke? Yeah, so it will keep those brokies away. So, and he's like, I'm not broke. Yeah. He's talking to this other guy. He's like, you know I'm not broke, right? And then this guy was like, man, listen. That guy rolled his eyes and was like, please, brokey, please. Brokey, please. So instead of worrying about a woman's hair, maybe he should be asking himself why he's defending a degenerate like Diddy so damn hard. Is it because he relates to Diddy? I just realized that this is the same guy who a few years ago was on live when the police were knocking at his door, and he refused to believe it was really the police. And when he finally opened the door, he was arrested. Total weirdo. Another thing, he was ranting about how that female YouTuber doesn't date black men. Okay, and is there some law that says a black woman has to date black men? What makes you think black men are so special that every black woman must choose them? That's why there are options. And you know what's funny? That rule is for black women. They don't feel that way when it comes to them. I bet you he won't say to another black man, oh, that black man don't even date black women. I'm telling you, they are so backward. So anyway, there was another clip I saw from the Diddy trial circus. Some idiot poured baby oil on himself outside the courthouse trying to go viral. Pure attention seeking. And of course, he was surrounded by other freaking idiots hyping him up. Why are some black people so embarrassing? And the saddest part is, they don't even realize how ridiculous they look. No matter where they go, they'll find a way to act out and be ghetto. In what world is this behavior acceptable? This fool, who's been covering the Diddy case, thought it was funny to mock the trial and the victims by pouring baby oil on himself. That's how miserable this guy is. You are miserable. And it's gonna get worse. I don't care how much money he made from this case. It will all come crashing down. This was some of the most unprofessional, low-class behavior I've ever seen. These people don't know how to act. And no matter the setting, they can't help themselves. eventually the attention-seeking behavior must come out. And the second you call out their behavior, you are labeled a hater or a sellout. It's disgusting. They turned this trial into a freaking clown joke. They made it about themselves. They made this trial about themselves. These are nobodies trying to use the Diddy case to become somebody. Do you see how they were fanning over Diddy's family and his mom? They were fanning out over his mom, screaming out their names, trying to get the family to notice them. A bunch of groupies. It was so bizarre to watch. Before the trial, it was Diddy this, his family this, his family that. And during the trial, outside the courtroom, they showed that they were nothing but groupies looking for clout. They were fanning like, Miss Janice, Mrs. Combs over here, Miss Combs over here, Miss Combs, how you doing today? Miss Combs, Justin, Christian, oh my gosh. It was bizarre. And what's funny is that this same person claimed last year that they were done talking about celebrities. They deleted all their videos, all their old videos, and said they were starting over because they hated celebrity gossip and it wasn't fulfilling. But that did not last long, okay? Once they realized those non-celebrity videos were not pulling in views, guess what? They went right back to gossiping. Anyway, I'm done with this ghetto mess. I just needed to get this off my chest because the whole thing was disgusting. And you know what? These clout chasers, these fame seekers, they were probably hoping for another celebrity trial so they can continue this clout chasing. So yeah, what a freaking mess. That is all, you guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave your thoughts in the comments, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.